What's going on, everyone? I'll do a little question and answer. And somebody just asked me, based on my last video, which was about Freemasonry and secret societies, a couple things. And I'll try to answer this in a couple ways, in a few ways. And the question, it says, there is something out there leeching on humanity. I can sense it. Do you believe in hollow earth theory? There may be entities below us who are controlling what happens on the surface. Um, Let me start with what I think where we live might look like in this three-dimensional realm, and that's one thing. Another thing is about sensing leechingness. What that has to do, I guess this is such a much larger thing. It's in three levels: mental, spiritual, and physical. This leeching that's happening, but they're tied together. And my first thing would be, what is your diet? What is your mental diet? What is your spiritual diet? Your psychological diet? What do you think about? What's your and what is your actual physical diet? What is it that you eat? That's very important, because the things that we eat are literally leeching on us. Therefore, affect our psychology and affect our spiritual world and what we see in the other realms if we can get out of body. And if you can get out of body, you know the densities in the realms of going up and down. And so, yes, in a way, there is something certainly leeching on us. And I can tell, and I know that my mental state, my spiritual state, is all tied into usually my diet, and vice versa. If I have you know, if I start watching television with somebody and it's not good, it's doing something. If I go to a Walmart for whatever reason, if I go somewhere that the lighting is wrong, it seriously sucks my auric field, and I can feel that it affects what I might consume in my diet later that day. I might eat something that I normally wouldn't, and it happens in both directions. So if you want to feel less of being leached upon, you would change your diet. If you fasted, if you've been cleansed, if you have clean blood, if you have pure blood, as some might say, you're not going to feel the distractions of being leached upon. These higher levels of things really is vibrating to a higher capacity to have cleaner blood, and you wouldn't, that sensing would, your sense would be different of it. And this is why my last video was about kind of it was a hyper allegory, I guess. I mean, I used a few different allegories to explain the same thing, and I'm kind of doing that here. And let me get here about this hollow earth theory. Well, if we start with here, let's just say here's Earth, there's our Earth plane, there's Antarctica around it, and here's all the everything that's going on in Earth. Here's the water. And maybe there's another body over there. And this is looking down. This is a possibility, and there might be a dome over these things. Who knows? I can't claim to know that quite yet. I don't know. I've got out of body, and I've had some things where I did feel that I hit a wall or a density. So in a way, I kind of assume in that direction, but who knows? Now, if we look at this, I've done other videos on flat Earth and what I think of our plane being infinite flat Earth. Yeah, certainly. Here we go. Here's our mountain regions. Here, let's say there is a dome. I don't know that there is. There's some mountainous regions, and here's some water, and here's some water down here, and there. Now, and here's just some flat land. Certainly, there could be some caves and things beneath us. There might even be a whole nother planetary system right here, and this could all be water in here. This could be all land in here. I don't know. What does it look like down there? How often have I been to really murky, deep things? Plenty of times. Not only like in this physical reality and the way that I observe things, but in the astral realms, I've been to places that most people wouldn't want to go. And that's why I always suggest to people who want to open up their third eye and get into the realms of knowledge of getting out of body, that you should clean your body first. If you don't, you're going to be sensing things in your organs. See, back here to the sensing. If you don't clean your physical temple, your body here, if you don't clean this thing, what you're going to view out of these eyes whenever you get out of body. Well, not when you. This is if you don't clean this thing on this plane of existence, you're going to see things that are no good. And once you get out of body, your brain here is going to be projecting lower levels of senses as well. I mean, sorry this picture's messy because I'm just trying to get a point across here, but I think it's pretty well explained here that they're the entities below us. And I did a longer video on this, and I'd hope you'd all go back and look for my earlier flat Earth videos of what. And there's a couple other ones on a moon matrix and I think astrology where I explain this very simply with much better pictures. I actually downloaded some pictures because there's levels to this thing, and where we are and what's beneath us are demonic creatures. Let me try to explain it this way. See, angels and demons, it's always what it is, and it's all about densities. It's all about densities. What is beneath us? Here we go. Back to this. Okay. If here is the level of density where we're hanging out here on Earth, how heavy we are, how dense we are, is, and here's another density. Let's do this. Here's 3 planes. Here's the same you on 3 different planes. These are 3 different densities of you. You call this here's your auric field. Alright. Here's you in your higher self. Here's you in an earth self. Here's you in a really dense realm. And when you get out of body, you can go higher or lower. So depending on where you are, the density beneath you, which is like quicksand, it's going to capture you easier. It's going to feel that way. If you start eating bad, you're going to feel bad. You're going to look bad. You're going to see badly. Like, you're going to see the demonic force. You're going to see the heavier, denser energy that is sluggish and pulling things downward. But as they say, there are demons that are ascending. There are angels that are falling. So, and there are angels that are going up. And if here's the middle plane, that's where you are. The middle plane is where you are, Midgard. It's your middle region. It's Baal's world in your midsection. Middle, Baal, bowels, bile, Lord Baal, Lord Baal. To lower it down into the furnace of hell, Heliopolis. It's the connection. That's why I go a little farther, and this is going to be confusing to people, but if you follow my videos, hell is Heliopolis. Hell is where your heel of your foot is, because your foot is called your soul, the soil on the ground. The soil on the ground is where you find, you plant the seeds. Cedar is Saturn. Okay? It's a timekeeper. And if you look up in the sky, what you'll see is the soul, or the sun. The sun is a soul, just like you have a soul that you are, which is everything. And you have a soul, which is your foot. And Heliopolis means sun, and it also means hell. It's a hot place. So it's showing you what's, the above and below ideas of the language. If I say soul, you might think soil, which is beneath your feet. You might think the bottom of your foot, and you might think the thing that's up in the air. And if I say Helios, if I say hell or heel, you would see something hot, and then you could look up and see the sun, or you could look at, oh, hell is beneath you, or you could look at the heel of your foot. So these senses and these leechings happen, yes. But the higher that you vibrate, the more that you cleanse yourself, the less you'll have a sense of it. It won't be able to attach itself to you as far as these entities are concerned. So, are there physical entities? Are there hyperdimensional entities? Are there spiritual entities? I can say for sure there's spiritual entities, mental entities. Are there physical ones? Well, it seemed like there'd have to be. I don't know though. I haven't been there, and I don't know. There's people that claim to have been. Maybe so. There's probably, the hollow earth. I don't think it's hollow. I just think there's levels to it. How far up and down does it go? Who knows? It's just as silly. And for anybody like, oh, you believe in the flat earth, like, it's just as silly to think that there's an infinite universe around you, that it goes on forever. Like, we're flying through outer space. Oh, it just doesn't end anywhere. Could you even imagine infinite? Like, how far infinite in every direction? That's just as absurd to think about and hard to comprehend is, well, what is the Earth sitting on? What is it standing on? Well, that's exactly the same in the opposite direction. So who knows what it's sitting on? Who knows? Maybe we are floating in a giant outer space. Maybe there is. But where we are and what we can observe and see around us and what we can participate in seems pretty flat. And it seems like there is probably tunnels and things beneath us because we can see there's something above us. So, yeah. I hope that answers your question, Lion Strong. Chat soon, y'all. Peace.